A very good afternoon and welcome. This is Lunchtime News here on Channel 1 MTV. I'm Ramesh Bandara. As usual, we take a look at your headlines first. Strict measures to be taken against vendors who sell food items manufactured with artificial colouring that is unsuitable for consumption. Human Rights Commission to deploy a special team to inspect voting activities of the upcoming local government poll. Eurozone leaders to meet today for a crunch summit to try to resolve the Greek debt crisis. On to the stories in detail now. The Ministry of Health states that strict measures will be taken against vendors who sell food items that are manufactured with the use of artificial colouring that is unsuitable for consumption.
A communique issued by the Minister of Health states that the subject minister, Maithripala Sirisena, has decided to grant full authority to food inspectors to take measures against vendors who sell food items that are unsuitable for consumption. The communique adds that a large number of complaints have been lodged regarding such food outlets. Meanwhile, a racket where white raw rice was artificially coloured and sold as raw rice has been exposed. The Ministry of Health adds that the rice is sold under false names such as rose raw rice. Accordingly, complaints have also been lodged with regard to meat and fish items being sold after being sprayed in red paint in order to create an image of freshness.
A metal fence which was erected in the newly constructed Galle bus stand, which was recently declared open by President Mahinda Rajapaksa, was removed based on the advice of parliamentarian Nishantha Muthuhettigama. According to our correspondent, the parliamentarian arrived in the area this morning and took steps to remove the metal fence.
A private bus strike was launched in the area on the day before yesterday owing to this fence in question. The private bus employees complained that due to this fence, the commuters find it difficult to board the buses. It is in this backdrop that parliamentarian Nishantha Muthuhettigama arrived at the bus stand today and held discussions with those engaged in the strike. Thereafter, the minister advised the metal fence to be removed.
It was only yesterday that I was aware of this bus strike in question. I visited the location at around 7:30 this morning, and after holding discussions with the chairman of the Road Passenger Transport Authority, we came into a conclusion to remove this fence in question that disrupted the smooth movement of buses. It is a newly built bus stop, hence you may encounter shortcomings. However, this cannot be a cause for a strike action. The manner in which they protested was wrong. Subsequent to removing this, transportation activities commenced as usual.
A special team has been deployed by the Human Rights Commission to inspect voting activities during the second phase of the local government elections, which will commence on Saturday. Secretary of the Human Rights Commission, Nimal Punjiheva, stated that this team will be deployed to look into election activities taking place in the northern and eastern provinces and in the Kaduwela area as well.
This time, Commission has decided to monitor the election monitor, especially selected districts. So, Jaffna district, Kinnauchi district and Kaduwela area. Our monitoring system is the different of that civil society monitoring system. We have given our attention, especially the government officers like police and divisional secretaries, Assistant Commissioner of Elections, some other security forces, and then they have follow the proper procedure and they are respect of the rule of law. They are follow the law and order. Then our officers given more attention for that. And in addition that, there is what is the environment? There are the voters free and fair election. Their environment is okay to their voting to go to the polling booth and how the transport facilities. Then that type of things also our officers observe. So after the election, they will come back. Then they will submit their report to the commission.
The Benthara Alpedia Provincial Road Carpeting Project in the Galle district commenced yesterday under the auspices of Minister of Economic Development, Basil Rajapaksa.
22 billion rupees has been allocated for this project to carpet roads island-wide. Roads spanning 3,740 kilometers will be carpeted under this project.
When a small country develops, there will always be imperialists who will attempt to conspire and capture such a country through any means. This was done to Vietnam. This happened in Afghanistan, Iraq, and now it is happening in Libya. Therefore, this is not a strange thing for Sri Lanka, but we must be prepared for it. The Sri Lankan economy is developing in all spheres, be it the pace of development, unemployment, foreign exchange, inflation, and governance. A meeting was held yesterday in support of United National Party candidates contesting for the Athanagalla Pradesh Sabha at the upcoming local government elections. Opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe presided at the meeting.
The group, including national organizer of the United National Party, parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayake, were present at the occasion. They said they will show how development takes place since they are in power. But I would like to ask what they have done for the past 5 years. In 2010, they asked for the provincial council because the war is over. They said jobs and houses will be provided and even salaries will be increased. After winning, they asked everyone to wait until a president is also elected. When this was done, they said that they would grant these things when they control the parliament. It has been 2 years. How many people were provided with jobs?
Minister of Petroleum Industries Susil Premajand says that the government is prepared to face any challenge from any international force. The minister expressed this view during a public rally held in Athuragiriya yesterday. The rally was held in support of UPFA candidates contesting for the Kaduwela Urban Council. We will not be affected by mud-singing campaigns or criticism. The public has granted us the mandate to face these issues head-on. The President and the government is prepared to face any challenge, and just like they defeated terrorism, they will continue to develop the nation. I would like to clearly state at this occasion that we have the necessary strength and leadership in order to achieve this objective. Staying in local news, environmentalist Jagat Gunawardena states that reports have emerged that measures are being taken to amend the Flora and Fauna Protection Ordinance for commercial purposes. Jagat Gunawardena made this statement at a media briefing held at the National Library and Documentation Services Centre. It was recently revealed that the Flora and Fauna Protection Ordinance, which was amended in 2009, is to be amended once again. There are several underlying reasons for this amendment. Firstly, it is to be amended in order to remove the ban imposed on constructing hotels in this zone, which spans across a mile. Secondly, it is done to rear wild animals as pets or in other places. And thirdly, to provide the necessary facilities to export certain wild animals. Well, several houses were severely damaged owing to a strong wind that gushed across the Athuragiriya area this morning. The affected areas were identified as Athuragiriya, Urvala and Shantalukkama. When we spoke to M.L. Jayanta, who is the coordinator of the Colombo District Disaster Management Centre, he said that an estimate of the damage caused is currently being assessed. He further stated that electricity had to be disrupted owing to the damage caused to the electricity and telephone cables in the area.
කොළඹ දිස්ත්‍රික් ආපදා කළමනාකරන සම්පාදිත
The residents of the Sirimagam village in Galnava, Kakirava have been severely inconvenienced due to a violent monkey who has been causing havoc in the area. According to area residents, the monkey had attacked and bitten 22 individuals within the course of a month.
During the past month, the villagers of the Sirimagam village have armed themselves with weapons such as poles to protect themselves from the monkey. There is a large monkey which bites our children. The children cannot go to school and we cannot travel to our paddy lands. We have to carry poles if we are going somewhere. According to area residents, the monkey usually enters houses and attacks those present in the house. The monkey bit me when I was asleep in the house. Our cameras were able to capture the manner in which wildlife officials in the area arrived in the Sirimagama village and attempted to chase away this monkey.
We
earlier received reports of a monkey causing havoc in the area. We launched several initiatives together with the Meghalaya police and the Grama Seva officer. The number of monkeys reduced. This was reported again, and now we are chasing the monkey into a large reservation.
The Sri Lanka Mahaweli Authority states that steps have been taken to breed 200,000 cattle. Director General of the Sri Lanka Mahaweli Authority, DMC Dissanayaka, stated that nearly 10 litres of milk can be obtained at a time from each of these cows. This program, which will commence in the Mahaweli A zone, will be expanded to the Mahaweli B and C zones in the near future.